As someone that played like 3 pre-remaster battle oracles to high level, and also 3 additional oracles beyond that, one of the things that really bugged me about the battle oracle discourse and hatred on the Reddit that still periodically pops up is this huge hullabaloo about losing the heavy armor and pretending the old battle oracle was a tank. This weird idea that the old battle oracle was a cursed knight mage tank is incredibly bizarre because the subclass is the direct antithesis of that. You still had caster proficiency progression in armor and saving throws, so while early on you might have matched up decently to a martial, you'd quickly fall behind on things that would boost your saving throws and upgrade your degrees of success in them, and then fall behind in armor proficiency as well. And your primary class gimmick gave you a -2 to all of those. Once you used your primary class gimmick for the rest of the day, wandering around outside of combat, at the start of every fight before you got a turn, and at the start of every one of your turns before you made a strike, you would be at -2 AC. If you were in a position where you were getting buffs from your curse, performing a strike would still leave you with a -1 to all of your defenses. In those phases in which it was at -2 because you hadn't had a chance to mitigate it yet, you were walking around with lower defenses than a wizard or a sorcerer. And if you were melee, you'd need to go into melee, moving across the battlefield, possibly provoking reactions. And to cast 2 action spells and swing in the same turn, you'd need to cast in melee range, possibly provoking more reactions. But you still paid for the armor you aren't getting the benefits of. Oh, and to get that bulwark trait, you can't start with it because all of those armors have strength requirements you can't meet, so you have to switch to a different suit of armor, so you have to pay for heavy armor twice. But honestly, conceptually, what about a class that trades defenses for accuracy and damage boosts, and as its curse progresses it becomes harder and harder to mitigate your defensive penalties and cast spells? What about that screams mage tank? A subclass that gains offensive boosts in exchange for defensive penalties that must continuously strike to mitigate those defensive penalties, and as the curse escalates gets worse at casting spells, is very clearly a berserker theme. It can't really have lost a mage tank flavor in the remaster when its old flavor was the opposite of that.